Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Bhajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Vṛndāvana Paramahansa Pururikācārya Astottara Sri Srimad Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jai Vṛndāvana Paramahansa Pururikācārya Astottara Sri Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to the assembled devotees. All glory to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Okay. Now, he did write the verse on the board. There's a verse. He did. I hopefully he wrote it. I told him what verse to write. Yeah, I think he wrote it. And we need the, yeah. Oh, he didn't write it? All right, anyway.
What verse are we on, probably?
We're on 10th Canto, chapter 33, text 36.
Well, I gotta make a trip up the stairs.
What did he say?
Yeah, you got the 5th canto here.
Yeah, if you want to get the book, you can. All right. We'll chant it one. It's a small verse. We'll chant it one at a time, one word at a time. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. On this 19th day of August 2022 in San Diego, Sri Krishna Janmashtami, we are speaking, beginning with the 10th canto, chapter 33, text 36, which describes one of the reasons why Krishna appears. I asked him to write the verse, but something happened. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham deham astitaha bhajate tadrishi krida ya shutva tatparo bhavet. Now, what should I do? Oh, he got a new board, and he did write it after all. Okay, good. We'll wait. There's the verse. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamastitaha bhajate tadrishi krida ya shutva tatparo bhavet. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham deyamastitaha bhajate tadrishi krida ya shutva tatparo bhavet. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamastitaha bhajate tadrishi krida ya shutva tatparo bhavet. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamastitaha bhajate tadrishi krida ya shutva tatparo bhavet. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamastitaha bhajate tadrishi krida ya shutva tatparo bhavet. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamastitaha bhajate tadrishi krida ya shutva tatparo bhavet. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamastitaha bhajate tadrishi krida ashutva tatparo bhavet. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamastitaha bhajate tadrishi krida tatparo bhavet. Anugrahaya bhaktanam taha manusham dehamastitaha bhajate tadrishi krida ya shutva tatparo bhavet. Ladies. Anugrahaya bhaktanam manusham dehamastitaha bhajate tadrishi krida Yashutva tat paro bhave. Want to try it? No? Oh, I'm sorry. Anugrahaya, to show mercy. Bhaktanam, to his devotees. Manusham, human-like. Deham, a body. Astitaha, assuming. Bhajate, he accepts. Tadrishi, such. Krida, pastimes. Yaha, about which. Shrutva, hearing. Tatparaha, dedicated to him. Bhavet, one becomes. Translation. When the Lord assumes a human-like body to show mercy to his devotees, he engages in such pastimes as will attract those who hear about them to become dedicated to him. So I'm just going to read a little portion of this purport, which is by Vṛndāvana Das Goswami. Srila Jiva Goswami explains in this connection that when Lord Krishna descends to this world in his original two-handed form, out of kindness, he manifests that form in a way his devotees conditioned in human society can perceive and understand. Thus here it is stated, Manusham dehamastitaha, he assumes a human-like body. So it's not that he has some other kind of body and assumes that, but he manifests in such a way that human beings can relate to him in that original human-like form. Okay, and now I want to go and we'll read, many of you know these verses, hopefully we don't need to write them on the board. And that is Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, text 7. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirm bhavati bharata abhyutanam dharmasya tadatmanam sujamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharat, and a predominant rise of a religion, at that time I descend myself. And then, of course, paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam dharma sangstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. Om jnanatimidandasya jnanandana shalakaya chakshu unmidatam mena tasmai shri gurave namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, but my spiritual master Srila Prabhupada opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisance unto him and all members of Sri Parampara. So I chose these verses. Of course, the classic verses 4, 7, and 8, describing why Krishna appears. But the other verse, the first verse we read, is not so well known. But it encapsulates this mood that Krishna, to show mercy to his devotees, he comes and enacts his līlā so as to attract them anew and to enliven them. And we should always remember that Krishna only appears as he is in his original form on the earth once every 8,600,000,000 years, 600 million years or so, or a day of Lord Brahma. So the pastimes need renewing, so we can read them. Okay, I'm going to now read another verse from the second canto. Second canto, second chapter, verse 33. This is Shukadeva Goswami speaking to Maharaj Pariksit near the end of the chapter. So he says, na yato nyak shivak pantha vishatak sangsutaviha vasudeve bhagavati bhakti yogo yato bhayet. For those who are wandering in the material universe, there is no more auspicious means of deliverance than what is aimed at producing or invoking pure devotional service to Lord Krishna. And then 2 verses at the end of the chapter. First is Tasmat sarvatmana rajan hadi sarvatra sarvada shotavya kirtitavyascha smartavyo bhagavan nunam. O king, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify, and remember the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, always and everywhere. Pretty clear. And now this final verse of the chapter, I wish I would read most of the purport. Tabanti he bhagavata atmanaksatam katamatam shravanaputeshu sambritam punanti te vishayavadushatashayam vajanti tachadanasororohantikam. Those who drink through all reception, fully filled with the nectarian message of Lord Krishna, the beloved of the devotees, purify the polluted aim of life known as material enjoyment, and thus go back to Godhead, to the lotus feet of Him, the personality of Godhead. I'm going to read a good portion of this purport. Prabhupada says, the sufferings of human society are due to a polluted aim of life, namely lording it over the material resources. The more human society engages in the exploitation of undeveloped material resources for sense gratification, the more it will be entrapped by the illusory material energy of the Lord, and thus the distress of the world will be intensified instead of diminished. The human necessities of life are fully supplied by the Lord in the shape of food grains, milk, fruit, wood, stone, sugar, silk, jewels, cotton, salt, water, vegetables, etc., in sufficient quantity to feed and care for the human race of the world, as well as the living beings on each and every planet within the universe. The supply source is complete, and only a little energy by the human being is required to get his necessities into the proper channel. There's no need of machines and tools or huge steel plants for artificially creating comforts of life. Life is never made comfortable by artificial needs, but by plain living and high thinking. The highest perfection of thinking for human society is suggested here by Shukadeva Goswami, namely, sufficiently hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, the sufficiently here, I think probably means abundant, profuse. He uses that word in that way sometimes. For men in this age of Kali, when they have lost the perfect vision of life, the Srimad Bhagavatam is the torchlight by which to see the real path. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada has commented on the Katamritam mentioned in this verse and has indicated that Srimad Bhagavatam to be the nectarian message of the personality of Godhead. By abundant hearing of Srimad Bhagavatam, the polluted aim of life, namely lording it over matter, will subside, and people in general in all parts of the world will be able to live a peaceful life of knowledge and bliss. And by the constant hearing of the messages of Bhagavad Gita and later Bhagavatam, one is assured herein by Shukadeva Goswami that he will reach the personality of Godhead and render him transcendental loving service in the spiritual planet of the name Goloka Vṛndāvana, which resembles a huge lotus flower. Hare Krishna. So the reason why I wanted to emphasize this aspect of Krishna consciousness is because the Janmashtami is a wonderful pastime of Krishna, and it is the foundation of all other things that we know about Krishna consciousness. If Krishna had not appeared, what would have happened? You know, and we should remember again that he very, very, very rarely appears as he is in order to enact his Goloka Vṛndāvana pastimes and all this. Very, very rarely does he appear in that way. He appears in every yuga in some form, but only to reenact these most attractive pastimes and come as he is, and very rarely. So we're very fortunate. What's 5,000 years compared to 8,600,000,000 years? Not even a drop in the bucket, right? So it's practically yesterday. And Srila Prabhupada came in order to renew our remembrance. In other words, he's Krishna's emissary, he's Lord Chaitanya's emissary, in order to give us knowledge of Krishna's pastimes, his instructions, what the previous acharyas had given, and also to give us the means of understanding it, namely the process of devotional service, which is part of that knowledge, like a Nectar of Devotion and so many other books, Bhagavad Gita. So we have a tremendous opportunity, and these holidays, Janmashtami is practically almost, we'd say the sweetest day of the year, except for maybe tomorrow, which is Prabhupada's appearance day. But it's filled with an opportunity for hearing and chanting, remembering and serving, and absorbing ourselves in Krishna's pastimes and qualities and form and names, so that we can become attracted to him. The natural state of every living entity is to be fully attracted to Krishna in a very specific rasa relationship with Krishna, and to be situated in that rasa eternally. We've lost that state due to our becoming fascinated with the material energy. You know, how that happened, we don't know. Why we should have done that. This Bhakti Yoga process, as Srila Prabhupada has given it, is an opportunity to renew our original attraction for Krishna. Uncover it. Let's say that. Uncover it. It's already there. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabunoi Shavanadi Shuddha Chitte Kadayayudoi. The eternal perfection of pure love for Krishna is eternally there in every soul. And by the process of Bhakti Yoga, chiefly hearing and chanting, that natural love awakens. That natural prema awakens. So one of the verses, many of you may be familiar with it, in the Shad-Goswamashtika, describes how that the Goswamis are pouring down nectarian songs upon the conditioned souls. And in this way, they're saving them from mayavad, from false philosophies. So those songs are abundant in Srila Prabhupada's books. And I wanted to share just a few of the pastimes, the passages in which Krishna is presented in this all-attractive way that's meant to fascinate our minds. So I'm going to give you a little sample of those. I didn't want to go there. Sorry. Okay. So this is one of my favorite chapter in Krishna book. And just a little taste, the beginning of the chapter 21, which is of course the Venu Gita. The Gopis attracted by the flute of Krishna, by Krishna's flute. With the arrival of the beautiful autumn season, the waters in the lakes and rivers became as clear as crystal and filled with fragrant lotus flowers, and breezes blew very pleasantly. At that time, Krishna entered the forest of Vṛndāvana with the cows and cowherd boys. Krishna was very much pleased with the atmosphere of the forest, where flowers bloomed and bees and drones hummed very jubilantly. While the birds, trees, and plants were all looking very happy, Krishna, tending the cows and accompanied by Sri Balaram and the cowherd boys, began to vibrate his transcendental flute. After hearing the vibration of the flute of Krishna, the gopis in Vṛndāvana remembered him and began to talk among themselves about how nicely Krishna was playing his flute. When the gopis were describing the sweet vibration of Krishna's flute, they also remembered their pastimes with him. Thus their minds became disturbed, and they were unable to describe completely the beautiful vibrations. While discussing the transcendental vibration, they remembered also how Krishna dressed, decorated with a peacock feather on his head, just like a dancing actor, and with blue flowers pushed over his ear. His garment glowed yellow gold, and he was garlanded with a Vaijayanti necklace. Dressed in such an attractive way, Krishna filled up the holes of his flute with the nectar emanating from his lips. So they remembered him, entering the forest of Vṛndāvana, which is always glorified by the footprints of Krishna and his companions. Krishna was very expert at playing the flute, and the gopis were captivated by the sound vibration, which was attractive not only to them, but to all living creatures who heard it. One of the gopis told their friends, "The highest perfection of the eyes is to see Krishna and Balaram entering the forest and playing their flutes and tending the cows with their friends." This is actually the first verse of the Venu Gita that they sing, "Akshan Batam Balamidam Naparam Vida." Persons who are constantly engaged in the transcendental meditation of seeing Krishna internally and externally by thinking of him playing the flute, entering the Vṛndāvana forest, and tending the cows with the cowherd boys have already attained the perfection of samadhi. So, this is one passage. So, what do we witness to here? This is Srila Prabhupada presenting to us in the pinnacle of all Shastra, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the essence of it, which is the 10th canto. And here we have one of the aspects, this Venu Gita, which is one of the 4 Gopi Gits within the 10th canto. And you may know that Shivaram Swami wrote a wonderful book quite a few years ago now, 15 years, based on this Venu Gita and all the commentaries on it. So it's quite a wonderful book in meditation. So Prabhupada here says that those who are constantly engaged in this meditation and in thinking of this pastime are actually in samadhi, in full absorption of Krishna. So this is just one of the pastimes, one of the sections of Srila Prabhupada's books, where this all-attractive element of Krishna in his pastimes, sweet pastimes in Vṛndāvana with his friends, and the gopis, and they're all, and all the living entities, and even the so-called there's no inanimate living entities. Another one where he walks into the forest, and the trees all become ecstatic, and they bow down, and they immediately blossom with fruits and flowers, and in this way and the honey's coming down, and the whole thing, just like tears. That's in the Yugal Geet. That's another Gopi Geet. They're singing like that. So what I'm trying to stress here is that this is, the essence of the whole enterprise of Bhakti Yoga is to increase our attachment to Krishna by beginning with the name, of course. The name, the form, beautiful form on the altar here, so many services by which we can, but primarily by hearing and chanting, hearing and remembering. Hearing Bhagavad Gita, repeating it, meditating on it, discussing it, and just remembering the philosophy. The philosophy is all meant for us to give us faith and commitment to the process, which ultimately results in the awakening of pure love for Krishna. So there's a couple of more that I prepared for you. Let's see. Okay, so this is another one of my favorite passages, which we heard recently, and Balaram's appearance today, because it's Dhenukasura. This is so sweet, I'll repeat it. In this way, this is chapter 15, beginning of chapter 15 of Krishna book, The Killing of Dhenukasura. In this way, Krishna, along with his elder brother Balaram, passed the childhood age known as Kumara and stepped into the age of Poganda, from the 6th year up to the 10th. At that time, all the cowherd men conferred and agreed to give those boys who had passed their 5th year charge of the cows in the pasturing ground. Given charge of the cows, Krishna and Balaram traversed Vṛndāvana, purifying the land with their lotus footprints. So this is a big thing. What's this holiday? Is it Janmashtami? I forget. It's where Krishna starts being a cowherd boy instead of a calf-herd boy. That's the whole thing. Accompanied by the cowherd boys and Balaram, Krishna brought forward the cows and played on his flute as he entered the forest of Vṛndāvana, which was full of flowers, vegetables, and pasturing grass. The Vṛndāvana forest was as sanctified as the clear mind of a devotee. Somehow this always sticks in my mind. Sanctified as the clear mind, and was full of bees, flowers, and fruits. There were chirping birds and clear water lakes with waters that could relieve one of all fatigue. Sweet-smelling breezes blew always, refreshing the mind and body. Krishna, with his friends and Balaram, entered the forest, and seeing the favorable situation, desired to enjoy the atmosphere to the fullest extent. Krishna saw all the trees overloaded with fruits and fresh twigs, bending down to touch the ground as if welcoming him by touching his lotus feet. He was very much pleased by the behavior of the trees, fruits and flowers, and he began to smile, realizing their desires. And then he goes into this whole prayer you may remember from Balaram's appearance, where he praises Balaram. Oh, they're worshipping you. Balaram is featured in this particular chapter. He's the one who kills Dhenukasura. So that's all very fascinating. This is just one of the passages of where the fraternal rasa is emphasized. And then I wanted to, this is the same thing. Okay, and then we have another section here that I wanted to read for you. And this is from, this is from the Nectar of Devotion. Now the Nectar of Devotion, of course, is a very systematic book describing how to practice devotional service, the philosophy behind it, the offenses to be avoided, very, very systematic. But then at a certain point, along in the book, he starts describing highlights of the different rasas. And so I'd like to just share a little section here. Let's see, I'm going to have to make this type a little bigger. Okay. Okay, so yeah. All right, give me a second. Sorry about this delay here. Okay. All right, so here, this is always one of my favorites. There's a painting of this, you may recall. So they names all these friends, Vishal and Vrishabha, Ojasvi, Devaprastha, Varutapa, Maranda, and so forth. all of these Sakha friends of Krishna seek only to serve him. These are they're Sakhas, but they're in the mood of service. Sometimes some of them would rise early in the morning and immediately go to Krishna's place and wait at the door to see Krishna and to accompany him to the pasturing grounds. In the meantime, Krishna would be dressed by Mother Yashoda, and when she would see a boy standing at the door, she would call him, "Well, Vishal, why are you standing there? Come here." So with the permission of Mother Yashoda, he would immediately enter the house. And while Mother Yashoda was dressing Krishna, he would try to help put on Krishna's ankle bells. And Krishna would jokingly strike him with his flute. Then Mother Yashoda would call, "Krishna, what is this? Why are you teasing your friend?" And Krishna would laugh, and the friend would also laugh. These are some of the activities of Krishna's Sakhas. Sometimes the Sakhas would take care of the cows who were going hither and thither. They would tell Krishna, "Your cows were going off here and there," and Krishna would thank them. Sometimes when Krishna and his Sakhas went to the pasturing ground, Kamsa would send a demon to kill Krishna. Therefore, almost every day there was a fight with some different kind of demon. After fighting with a demon, Krishna would feel fatigued, pretend to be fatigued, and the hairs on his head would be scattered. And the Sakhas would immediately come and try to relieve him in different ways. Some friends would say, "My dear Vishal," it's Vishal again, "My dear Vishal, please take this fan of lotus leaves and fan Krishna so that he may feel some comfort. Varutapa, you just brush the scattered hairs on Krishna's head which have fallen upon his face. Vrishabha, don't talk unnecessarily. Immediately massage Krishna's body. His arms have become tired from fighting and wrestling with that demon. Oh, just see how our friend Krishna has become tired." These are some examples of the treatment given to Krishna by the Sakhas. One of the Sakhas, known as Devaprastha, is described as follows. He's very strong, a ready scholar, and is very expert in playing ball. He wears a white dress and he ties his hair into a bunch with a rope. Whenever there's a fight between Krishna and the demons, Devaprastha is the first to help, and he fights just like an elephant. So, this is pure nectar. You could read the whole chapter, and let's read it again. It's like that. So I think there's one more of these I chose. Yeah. So that's fraternal ras. Then is of course parental ras. Okay. There's the following description of Mother Yashoda's affection for Krishna. After rising early in the morning, Mother Yashoda first of all offered her breast milk to Krishna, and then she began to chant various mantras for his protection. Then she would decorate his forehead very nicely and tie protective talismans on his arms. Because in her mind he's just this delicate little child, and somehow by the grace of Narayan she was saved from all these demons. But I still have to protect him. So she's in the anxiety of maternal affection. There's a verse like that near the beginning of the 10th canon. By all these activities, it is definitely understood that she is the emblem of all maternal affection for Krishna. Let me give you a verse. This is, all of this is expressed in the most exquisite Sanskrit poetry. So this is the one. Aha samala gandir at sounda yavinde vinhita nayaneyam twan makendo mukunda kuchakalasha mukabhyam ambadakropa mamba Vaimurati harsham varshati chidadaram. I forgot a couple of words. But what it's saying is that one devotee is describing Mother Yashoda's reaction to Krishna, his interaction. Aha, the aha is a Sanskrit word, meaning, oh, how wonderful this is, Kamala Gandir. Krishna who has the fragrance of a lotus. Atra Saundaya Vrinde, who's the sum total of all beauty, Mother Yashoda is now placed her vision. She's looking very carefully at your face. So, Vinihanayanayam twan mukendo mukunda, at your beautiful lotus face, O Mukunda. And what's the result? From her breasts are pouring now showers of milk that are soaking her garments. Sorry, she's so much feeling love for Krishna by just looking at him this way that her garments are now being soaked with the milk, of her breast milk. So this is a classic. There's so much of that, you see when she sees him anywhere that happens. So now I wanted to read one verse from a wonderful book by Rupa Goswami, which is called the Līlā, which are a summary of Krishna's Vṛndāvana Leela in the most beautiful verses. And this is the introduction. He's the introduction to that wonderful book. And let me see. Oh, no, this is not it. Yeah, here we go. No, that's not it either. Yeah, okay, this is good. No. Thought I had this. All right, anyway, I know it by heart. Mūlodkāta vidayani bhavatador krishnanya tishnakshayat Kēlad bhi munichukkavaka nachayaracham yamanamahu Karnanandikalasvana bahatame jivatati prangani Gunat tungadasabadista vakatapi yushakalolani. I guess I'll have to give you the English now, huh? So, words that tell of your glorious deeds are a river of nectar, O Lord of my heart, and from those who drink deep at that river, desires for other words quickly depart. Sages they are, chakravaka birds playing, those who drink at the river of talks about you, bubbling and rippling and murmuring sweetly, that stream delights all with designed melodies. O Krishna, a fount of pure bliss, O Krishna, fount of pastimes, O you whose great deeds should be heard and then sung, may the river of poetry, limning your glories, flow into my heart and over my tongue. Sorry, just a few words. The word lim means to describe. L-I-M-N means to describe. So this is a prayer at the beginning. He's saying, Mūlo Katavilan. So what is it? This is this river of nectar describing Krishna's pastimes, which is flowing through Prabhupada's books, the Nectar of Devotion, the Krishna book, and the 10th canto that he wrote, and the Bhagavatam as a whole. So what does it do? This river of nectar, there's a very powerful tree on the bank of the river. That's our attachment to this world and our bondage to birth and death. So this river is so powerful that it's uprooting that tree. Krishnanya Trishna, how does it do it? Now here's the key phrase. By destroying the desire to hear about anything else. This is the whole idea, is that you get the higher taste. We experience this. We're all chanting Hare Krishna seriously here. So what's the effect? We can remember. And it becomes, yeah, okay, I'm doing it, Hare Krishna, gradually you're getting some pleasure from it. Kirtan, you're absorbing your mind. And you're becoming attracted to Krishna. That's the whole idea. And then the more you become attracted to Krishna, the more you become disattracted or averse to Maya. And in this way, this is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. We can't go to the Himalayas and practice pranayama looking at the tip of the nose. I tried for like 4 seconds and I feel it's get cross-eyed. I don't know what that's all about. But so that's the 6th chapter. There are very important instructions in the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. But Arjuna rejected it. And Prabhupada makes it clear, and Krishna makes it clear at the end, those who are always thinking about me, they're the greatest yogis. And that's Bhakti Yoga. So the very next verse, Maya Saktamanaparta Yogi Minma. Now I'm going to tell you how your mind can be naturally attracted to me, how you can train it. Even while doing all your chapti business, you don't have to sit anywhere. You understand that everything that you're perceiving is my energy, right? In other words, where is there not Krishna? It's all just our ignorance that we're forgetting Krishna's there. So this is the first step in God realization, to see Krishna everywhere in this world and to understand, and therefore to come to the point of never forgetting Him. And of course he goes on in the Bhagavad Gita, but the point is that the same principle is always there, to come to the point of never forgetting Krishna. Avismati Krishna Padada Vindyo, right at the end of the Bhagavatam, 12th canto, chapter 12. There are 8 verses describing the glories of Krishna Katha, Krishna Katastaka. And what's the final fruit? This is a verse I read in that book about Bhaktisiddhanta that he loved to quote. Avismati, Krishna Badada Vindayo. So this avismati doesn't just mean remembering, it means never forgetting. There's a difference. We're also remembering Krishna, but then sometimes we're forgetting. But to avismati means always remembering, never forgetting. Avismati Krishna Badada Vindayo Chinatya Buddhani Chashangtanoti. So this constant remembrance of Krishna. Now, we experience in degrees, because we're remembering Krishna for some time, and we experience some of these benefits, but this is that that constant remembrance destroys everything inauspicious. Chinotya Buddhani Ashangtanoti, and creates all good fortune in your life. Sham is the same word that's the introduction to Shankara's name. Shankara means he who makes welfare for the pious, devotees. So, but that's not the end of it. Sattvasta shuddhim, your existence becomes purified. Paramatma bhakti, you attain bhakti for the Supreme Soul, Krishna, characterized by jnana, vijnana, and vairagya. Jnana cha vijnana, vairagya yuktam. By knowledge, realized knowledge, and detachment from everything else. So that's what Srila Prabhupada has given us. He being one of the Goswamis, he's poured down on our heads so many songs, so many words, so much opportunity to purify our hearts by hearing and chanting, and to advance in devotional service. So I wanted to maybe end with this, and then we can have a little discussion. But in terms of readings, and this is a poem I wrote years ago, based on Vallabhacharya's Madhurāśṭaka. Some of you may be familiar with that. 8 verses in which it's all the Madhurādhipate Rakilam Madhuram. That you are the emperor of sweetness, and everything is sweet. So I said, well, this sounds like it could be easy enough to write something like that. So I did it. And this I think I have. King of Sweets. Yes. Okay. So just try to visualize. I know it's for anyone else but Krishna, this would be the most trite thing you could possibly read, But because it's a Krishna, it's true that everything about him is sweet. So, Madhupati, the King of Sweet, this hails from 2004. Your lotus feet and hands are sweet. Your waist and lotus navel sweet. Your threefold bending pose is sweet. O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. Your lips are sweet. Your smile is sweet. Your lotus eyes and face are sweet. Your heart is sweet, your name is sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. Now we go through all different stages of the pastimes here gradually. Your jaunty peacock plume is sweet, your forest flower garland sweet, your bluish black complexion sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. Your jeweled ornaments are sweet, your silken yellow garments sweet, your flute and horn and staff are sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. Your splendid golden belt is sweet, your brilliant yellow tilak sweet, your gunjaberry necklace sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. Your glossy curly locks are sweet, your dancing sidelong glances sweet, your eyebrows playful gestures sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. Your voice is sweet, your words are sweet, your tinkling ankle bells are sweet, your flute song and your laughter sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. Your lips are sweet, your smile is sweet, your lotus eyes and face are sweet, your heart is sweet, your name is sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. So that's kind of the refrain between sections. Your crawling in your yard is sweet, your being dragged by calves is sweet, the elder gopis' laughter sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. The elder gopis' plaints are sweet, your feigning innocence is sweet, your melting all their hearts is sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. The claim you'd eaten earth is sweet, your shoulder scolding you is sweet, your opening your mouth is sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. Your butter thievery is sweet, your running from your mother sweet, her binding you with ropes is sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. Your lips are sweet, your smile is sweet, your lotus eyes and face are sweet. Your heart is sweet, your name is sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. Your cows and coward friends are sweet, your giddy Govardhan is sweet, your dear Yamuna River sweet, O King of Sweet, you're sweet complete. Your forest wanderings are sweet, your foot dust and your gait are sweet. Your dancing and your singing sweet. O King of sweet, you're sweet complete. Your jokes and playful pranks are sweet. Your generosity is sweet. Your love for your companions sweet. O King of sweet, you're sweet complete. Your mimicry of birds is sweet. Your swinging from a bough is sweet. Your daily forest picnic sweet. O King of sweet, you're sweet complete. Your nap beneath a tree is sweet. Your friends' massage and songs are sweet. Your soft and fragrant limbs are sweet. O King of sweet, you're sweet complete. Your lips are sweet. Your smile is sweet. Your lotus eyes and face are sweet. Your heart is sweet. Your name is sweet. O King of sweet, you're sweet complete. Your moonlit autumn night is sweet. The forest heady fragrance sweet. Your flute song for the gopis sweet. O King of sweet, you're sweet complete. The gopis joining you is sweet. You're testing their devotion sweet. Their song of full submission sweet. O King of sweet, you're sweet complete. Your love play with the girls is sweet. Their pride at being with you is sweet. Your disappearance, bittersweet. O King of sweet, you're sweet complete. Your secret rendezvous is sweet. Your dalliance with Radha sweet. Her love for you, supremely sweet. O King of sweet, you're sweet complete. The gopis' search for you is sweet. They're acting out your pastime sweet. Their moving song of longing sweet. O King of sweet, you're sweet complete. Your coming back to them is sweet. Your pacifying words are sweet. Your blessed rasa dance is sweet. O King of sweet, you're sweet complete. Your lips are sweet. Your smile is sweet. Your lotus eyes and face is sweet. Your heart is sweet. Your name is sweet. O King of sweet, you're sweet complete. My humble hymn is no great feat. Yet still I pray, O King of sweet, that with your favor it may meet, so you'll reveal your lotus feet. Hare Krishna. Any questions, additions, subtractions? Yes, you have a mic handy?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
In the beginning, you were mentioning about the form of Krishna, right? Who appeared to please his, in a way
Yes,
he
yes.
appeared to please it. But I heard, but I may be wrong, that I heard that we humans are image of God, right?
Yes.
So Krishna is originally there in his spiritual world in his original
Human
two-handed form.
Yes,
and
yes.
we have also taken in this world this two-handed form.
Yes. So how does he appear in his human form? That's the question.
Yeah.
That's his original form. I thought I covered that. You didn't listen. Let's see if I can. Anugrahaya bhaktanam, that's the verse. When the Lord assumes a human-like body, that's the problem. He doesn't assume it, he's got it already, so what's the story? So that's explained, right? Srila Jiva Goswami explains in this connection that when Lord Krishna descends to this world in his original two-handed form, out of kindness he manifests that form in a way his devotees conditioned in human society can perceive and understand. In other words, we can't see Krishna's original spiritual form. So, which is human-like, which is human-like. We're actually Krishna-like. That's the original form, right? We're the imitation. So, thus here it is stated, Manusham Dehamasthata, he assumes a human-like body. The idea is that he's just like we can't see him in a human-like body, so he manifests the form of the deity through stone. It's not a stone-like body, it's pure spiritual. But it's done in such a way that we can see him and serve him. So the same thing is there when he appears in his original form, but in a way, somehow that we can interact with him. But that's why the first part of the commentary, Jiva Goswami tries to allay that fear, because what is this assuming a human body? I thought he had a human body. What is that? But he's doing it in such a way when he appears that it's available. Therefore, that word is used, which is astitaha. Yeah. Okay? That's the idea.
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
That was my question, and it's so great
Okay.
when you see it unfold. I wanted to glorify Mukunda Prabhu, who's done this very nice new board. He did this as a project on his own. There's some nice flair and accoutrements to it.
I didn't make it, I bought it.
Okay. Yeah,
You
his
didn't
vision.
make the board?
He's being humble. But did you do the flowers and the nice Srimad Bhagavatam? Yeah. Yeah, I watched the stream for years before I could be here physically, so I studied that for so long. So I know they're happy. Yeah, with the
And
nice
it's
new board.
quite a bit lighter, right?
Yeah.
There's no metal in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the lettering then, that Srimad Bhagavatam, this, we should preserve that. You know?
Yeah.
I think this is like near the top of, you know, throughout ISKCON of writing the verse on the board. I'm very fortunate to have Mukunda.
Superlative. Very, very nice service.
Hare Krishna.
Just really easy, just reflection on what you said, the 4 Gopi Geets. You know, you hinted one and then kind of touched on another. Can you explain those, what they are?
I'll explain them, no, but I'll tell you what they are.
Okay, Jai.
So the first one chronologically in the Bhagavatam is 10:21, which I read, the Venu Gita. And they all have different meters. The Venu Gita is in the meter of the Govinda prayers. Akshandatam palamidam naparam vidama. So all of them, Gopi Geets, they're songs of separation. Songs of separation. So they're very beautiful, large commentaries by the acharyas on each one. Perhaps the most famous one is called the Gopi Geet, and that's the one when the gopis are separated from Krishna in the rasa dance. And that has a special meter, which is immortalized in the verse. Well, Sankirtan devotees know, you know. Tapakatamritam tapta jivanam kavabiriditam kalmashapaham shabanamangalam shrimadatatam bhuvigunandiye buddhidajana. Oh, my dear Lord, the nectar of talks about you are the life and soul of those living entities who are suffering in this material world, namely all of us, you know. Taptajim kavabiriditam, they're sung by great poets, and they destroy all suffering in this world. Kalmashabam. Shavana Mangalam, very auspicious to hear. Srimad, full of spiritual power. Shavana Mangalam Srimad Atatam, Bhuvigunantiye Buddhidajana. Certainly, those great souls who are chanting your glories on this earth are the best welfare workers for this world. And you can see how important it is to those who are, you know, glorifying Krishna by distributing his books or going on Harinam or just maintaining his temple, somehow glorifying the Lord for people can take, are the best welfare workers. Prabhupada made it. Prabhupada, of course, was the best of all welfare workers. So that's the most famous Gopi Geet, known as Gopi Geet. Then there's the Venu Geet, which I told you about, text chapter 21. There's the Yugal Geet, which is my favorite, 10:35. And that's, again, you know, Krishna's wandering in the forest, the gopis are singing. There's a lot of parallels between that and the Venu Geet. And that has this beautiful meter. Vama baha kata vama kapolo, volgita budadadapata venam, komalanga liberashita margam, gopihiriyati yatra mukunda. You know, when Krishna, he plays on the flute, it says he has his left shoulder on his left cheek. That's a big flute. I played a flute, you know, and it's the nectar devotion. He has different sized flutes, right? It's way out there. So they're describing that, and when the result is that the demigoddesses riding in the sky with their husbands in the airplanes, they're attracted to Krishna. And let's go down, you know, and they're attracted, and then they're embarrassed because they're being attracted to him conjugally. And Vishwanath Chakravarti adds that their husbands are also embarrassed because they're also being attracted constantly. And then what are we going to do? Our wives are right next to them. So that goes on. Anyway, it's so wonderful. There's a long, you know, section there. And finally, there is the Brahmara Geet, which Radharani alone sings, Song to the Bee. You know, when Uddhava comes and she's mad in separation and she sees a bee and she says, "Oh, you're a messenger, come from Krishna." That's chapter 47, I believe. So there's 4 of them, and they're huge commentaries. I was in the temple once, and the class was over, and I saw a gentleman here, an Indian gentleman, and he started singing the Gopi Geet. So I joined him, you know, because I think it's very famous that many you know, devotees learn that in India. So it was very nice to hear that. Okay, one more real quick one, then we have to greet the deities. Okay, Bob. Oh, do you have a question? Oh, why don't you let her? I can talk to you later.
No,
it's okay?
Please.
Okay. No, but you have to speak in the mic because there's people listening everywhere. Don't worry. Come on. Hold it. Yeah. Is it on? It's not on.
Prabhu, we also have a question on the Zoom.
Yeah, I know, but they're going to greet the deities in 3 minutes.
The 3 minutes. I just had a comment.
Please.
I'm super nervous speaking to the microphone. So I'll try to say my comment in 3 minutes. So you were just mentioning, Dravida Prabhu, some of the things that we do, hearing, chanting, dancing. And I do those things sometimes, little. And sometimes when I'm doing those things, I kind of feel like I struggle like with this imposter syndrome, like I'm a big faker or something. And I'm like hoping that devotees aren't going to see like there's this faker devotee and like throw me out of the temple or something. It's something that I struggle with. And it's difficult. It's hard, and I'm just like, well, even if I feel like I'm faking it, I'm just going to keep trying anyway. But when you were reading that poem at the end of class, I felt this change of heart, and I just felt like if I keep listening to nice classes like this and listening to nice poetry like that, it's going to be okay. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Sure. And write me, I'll send you all my poetry, and you can always feel good like that. All right, we better, I'm sorry, no time for the Zoom. Tonight, hopefully. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Hari Hari Bol.